I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't always the fastest, and I definitely wasn't the most talented. When I was in the lineup, I hit in the nine hole, in the bottom of the order for the majority of my career, and somehow I still found a way to make it to the big leagues. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it happened, and more importantly, how you can use the same blueprint to level up your game. Throughout the majority of my career, I always felt like I was behind. And when we are playing youth baseball, or we are playing little league, or we're playing travel baseball or elite travel baseball, man, the younger we are, the more that the talent gap can make us feel like we're behind. I am here to tell you that it is not all about talent and it's not all about numbers when you are playing at the youth level, when you are playing in little league. When I was coming up, man, regardless of the team I was playing on, I always hit ninth. There would be some spurts, man, when I would go on a hot streak and maybe the coach would move me up to the top of the order. We all have those hot streaks, regardless of what the situation is. If you are below the high school level, man, it's got zero to do with stats. It's got nothing to do with talent, man. You are not behind. You just need to develop. It's about locking in on the specific things that you need to do in order to propel you further. And at that level, at that age, man, at the youth level, it is not about numbers. I always hit ninth in my journey. I always felt like I was behind, man. I always struggled to get the ball out of the infield. I didn't learn how to hit the ball with authority until, honestly, probably my first or second year of professional baseball, man, where I found out what an actual barrel was and what being on time was. Okay. Going through the majority of my career until I got to like college, dude, I was just trying to hit the ball at the shortstop, trying to put it in play. We get to a specific point in like double A, man, where like a ground ball to the shortstop is an out. So you have to reinvent yourself. You have to get better. When we are at the youth level, before we get to high school, man, it's about having fun. It's about developing. Okay. It's about developing quality fundamentals. I was always overlooked. I got cut from my seventh grade Legion team. I got cut from my, junior travel team. I didn't get recruited at all. I was constantly asking myself, questioning, dude, am I good enough? Am I ever going to amount to anything? And the majority of you guys that are locking in and tuning in to the Nine Hole podcast feel the same way. I got news for you, okay? If you're not even in high school yet, it does not matter what you hit this year. Statistically, you can still play in the big leagues. You can still play Division I baseball. You can still play in college. You can still make the varsity team. Doesn't matter what you're benching. Does not matter what you're hitting. Develop. I was always feeling like I was behind. At this level, talent isn't the gatekeeper. It's not. Toughness is. You need to be tough in order to prolong your career, in order to continue moving forward. That was a lesson that I needed to learn. The more tough that I was mentally, physically, the more that I was capable of just outlasting everybody else. We talk about adversity. Everybody goes through it, regardless of, dude, where you're from, what your last name is, what you aspire to be like. You're going to grind through adversity, and your ability to get through that stuff is going to be the toughness that sets you apart from everybody else. Talent isn't the gatekeeper at this level, man. Toughness is. Your actions matter. You should be focusing on skills that you can control early. I'm talking about like hitting approach, your base running, your defense, your hustle, your character, showing up, being consistent. Does that make sense to you? At this point in time, before we get to high school, it's about volume. Okay? It's about getting reps. It's about getting in the backyard and hitting off the tee and working on your delivery. It's about volume, dude. We need to fall in love with development. If we're having fun doing something, man, we can do more of it. I want to have quantity in developing the basics at this level. Sure, I'm a nine-hole hitter. Sure, I can't get the freaking ball out of the infield. Sure, I am overlooked and everybody's way better than me. But at this point in time, before I get to high school, I am developing my hand-eye. I'm developing base running, right? Grinding out defense. Okay, I'm hustling. I'm working harder than everybody else. I'm developing the basics, dude. I can run, I can hit, catch, all that stuff. I can make contact. Can't necessarily get the ball in the infield, but I can make contact, man. I can make the play. I can throw and catch, all that good stuff. Mini challenge for you, dude. Master the boring drills at this stage in your career. Stop worrying about exposure. Stop worrying about getting seen. None of that stuff matters if you don't have the skill to show up with it. I always say, dude, I wish that I debuted earlier. I debuted at 27 years old, man. I was old as crap. The average age for a major league debut was like 27 years old. I'm like, so I'm average, right? I'm old, bro. If I had debuted before 27 years old, when I was 26, when I was 25, 24, when I really wanted to, dude, I would have went up for one game. I would have shit the bed. I would have missed. I would have gotten scared. I would have gotten picked off. I would have went over 4 Ks. The wheels would have been spinning. I probably would have made an error out in the outfield. I would have gotten like sent back down. Probably would have never, ever gotten the call back. You are right where you need to be. Okay? Master the boring stuff. Get the skill. It's going to happen. But before you get to the high school level, it's got nothing to do with numbers, man. We need to develop the skill before we get exposure. Next, when I got to college, I learned this walk-on mentality. And this was where the 9-hole mentality really started, okay? So I had walked on to Wagner College, bottom of the barrel, Division I baseball school in Staten Island, New York. I had no scholarship. My family had to pay full cost. I had to pay to play, right? Dealt with setbacks, made the team, dude. Old man passes away. I get some incomplete grades, go through a whole bunch of trials and tribulations. I have an absolutely terrible freshman season. The stars align. I made the team. I end up being like, I'm a starter, 9-hole hitter, playing left field. Have a terrible, terrible freshman season, dude. I had to outlast everybody, and I had to outperform just to survive. My outperform that year was hitting 231. I had to outperform what I was used to in order to survive. I'm playing Division I baseball for the first time. I'm outperforming anything that I knew. I just had to outlast, dude. You're getting hit with all this adversity, regardless of where you're at right now in your season. The only thing that you're going to be able to do is just keep on grinding. We talk about it all the time here. What else is there, man? What else is there? So the lesson that I learned right around this point in time, man, I'm getting this walk-on mentality. I learned no one's coming to save you. It was at this point in time, I got hit in the face with a little truth bomb. The only person that's going to be able to squeak out a professional career or get to where I want to go is me. After grinding through that first freshman year at Wagner College, I go to the Hamilton Joes, playing summer collegiate baseball in Ohio, and I sit the bench, dude. I'm a bench player there. I learned, again, nobody's coming to save me. In order for me to become a Division I baseball player that is capable of getting drafted, that is capable of making it to the next level, I need to blend high quality Division I reps with high quality Division I volume. Okay. So flashback to youth, that youth level, we need to have high quality. Okay. High quantity, dude. We want to develop that base layer. We want to develop the skill, dude. I want to learn how to consistently hit the bat on the barrel. I want to consistently be able to put stuff in play, consistently be able to play catch, run, throw, all that good stuff, base run. I get to college. Now it's about blending serious, precise reps, Division I quality reps with that amount of output, even more so, right? A Division I output. No one's coming to save you. When you were at the Division I level, I learned rather quickly. It's all you, man. It's you versus you. Your actions, they are huge. You have to build resilience. You have to show up early. You have to win trust through consistency. It is not about flash, man. It's got nothing to do with flash. It's about getting trust from your head coach. It's about earning your shot through consistency, getting in the lineup, and it's about doing your job. If we're blending Division I quality with Division I volume, we get a Division I product. Every day at practice, at this level, at the collegiate level, in order for me to go from a 9-hole hitter and eventually make it to the big leagues, I had to have a mindset, man. Every single practice, every single day, every single game, I needed to beat somebody. I needed to be better than somebody, whether it was hustle, whether it was attitude, whether it was effort. This is where it starts getting cutthroat. This is where it starts getting neck and neck. Even if you're not starting, if you're a bench player, you need to be better than the other bench players. You need to be better than the other team's bench players. Doesn't matter what conference it is. Doesn't matter what level it is. You need to be better than somebody. When you get to the Division I level, when you get to the collegiate level, it starts becoming about being better than people. That's what it is. We need to produce in order to move on, in order to separate, in order to get drafted. Okay? Now, at the youth level, I was playing small. I was learning big. All right? I needed to develop the fundamentals. I needed to understand everything that was going on. That was going to propel me further and forward more so than everybody else who was, an early bloomer, who could grow a full beard in high school, who plateaued. I needed to just play the long game. It is about playing the long game, man. Build the skill, even if you're behind. Your future self is going to thank you heavily. Nobody's coming to save you. Started learning that right around this walk-on mentality, 9-hole mindset period when I walked on to Wagner College. Every single practice, dude, I was aiming to be better than somebody. We are building resilience with our actions, man. It's even if you're not starting, you can be better than somebody. You can beat somebody. Now, what also allowed me to separate, propel myself forward was when I turned pro. I got drafted, man. I started turning doubters into believers, right? We start hearing these critics and we start turning them into believers with our track record, with consistency in showing up and doing hard shit, the stuff that they said we couldn't do. Okay, I got drafted in the 14th round in 2013 by the Seattle Mariners. Not very sexy. Went through the minor leagues. It was a grind. 7 seasons in the minor leagues. But dude, before I made my major league debut, there's no room for excuses in professional baseball, regardless of the level that you play at. Man, every single day, you want to talk about earning it? Every single solitary day was an audition. You had to show up every day. So that idea where it's like, dude, even if you're a bench player in college, you need to develop the mindset that you are going to beat somebody. You are going to outperform somebody. You are going to outbench somebody. You're going to be a better teammate than somebody. Dude, you got to take that and multiply that. That's tenfold in professional baseball. Zero room for excuses. Zero. You got to earn it every single day. If you don't have that attitude, you're going to amount to nothing. I stole bases, dude. I made plays. Yes, I had to develop all that good stuff, right? I needed to, the lack of development I had before I got drafted, had to develop then, right? I had to prove my value through execution, through doing the hard stuff, grinding through a full season. Not hype, man. We talk about potential, dude. Potential is just a way of saying you haven't done shit yet. That's what potential is. Potential's cool when you're young, dude, because you haven't been able to achieve anything. We get to like professional baseball, or dude, you get drafted and it's like, oh, he's got a ton of potential. Brother, you're a grown man. When's that potential coming out? Because you're 22 years old, dude. Time's ticking. Time is ticking. Okay? We got to earn it every single solitary day. There is a point in time, fellas, where everybody's going to fizzle out. For me, I'm 27 years old, right? We talked about when I made my major league debut, I was like industry average. When I was 27 years old, 2019, dude, I was the oldest guy in minor league spring training. I keep saying it, man, but like that's when everybody's supposed to quit. I would show up backing up teenagers, dude. I'm like almost 10 years older than everybody else in minor league spring training. I would go over to these major league games and I would back these teenagers up, dude. These guys that would get, major league spring training invites because they signed for their bonus babies, dude, signing millions of dollars. I would shake Manny Acta's hand, the third base coach of the Seattle Mariners, who I don't know if he had any say on me coming over. I would shake Scott Service's hand. It's not there anymore in Seattle. Stinks. But I would thank those guys for inviting me over, dude. I'd get like $50, $100 worth of meal money. I'm like, bro, this is huge. Thanks for the opportunity, man. Hopefully I get in. If not, bro, call me back up tomorrow, right? I'm hungry. That year in 2019, opening day in opening day of the 2019 season, bro, I'm starting in AAA again. And I'm not starting on opening day, right? I'm a bench player to those teenagers. Again, this is the season. This is when the stats actually count. So I am a bench player, yet again, a 9-hole grinder, the oldest dude on the team, sitting the bench. I'm sure you guys can relate. Fellas, At this point in time, where I'm talking to you about the 27-year-old Ian grinding, is when everybody is supposed to quit. You might be going through some shit right now that you were supposed to quit on, man. That's when everybody else is going to quit. Dude, that's when you keep grinding. That is when you keep grinding. You're supposed to quit then. That's when everybody else does it. So that's why you don't do it. When I was 27 years old, going through this grind, right? Having to trick myself into remaining positive and just continue showing up every day, I learned something. Another lesson I took away that you can use, and you can use this to propel yourself and benefit your career. Brother, you got to be so valuable that they can't leave you off the lineup card. That pairs perfectly with what I learned in college. They're not coming to save you, man. Nobody's coming to save you. It's you versus you. Play multiple positions. Be so valuable that nobody can take you out of the lineup. Be a plus runner. Not necessarily like a 6'4" runner. Be a plus runner on the bases, dude. Run the bases fearlessly. Be able to go first to third in somebody's face. That's hot, dude. You can bring insane value being able to do that. Be clutch. Be good at bunting. Be good at playing small ball, moving the runners over. Bring energy every single day to the lineup. There's a golden rule in baseball. You either giveth or you taketh energy away from a clubhouse, from a team, from a lineup. There is no in between. Understand which one you are and bring value every single day. Fellas, last lesson I learned here at this point in my career when I'm making my major league debut at industry average, outlasting everybody else. Everybody else quit. And here I am. This is what I learned. At this point in time, if you want to get to this point in your career where you reach the top, it is about years and years of major league quality over anything else. You need to be taking major league quality reps over anything else. It's not about quantity anymore at this point in time. You develop that at the youth level. You stack those W's and you built on that. You got to the college level and it's about developing and blending this Division I quality with the Division I quantity. Boop, boop. Now we get to the professional aspect of stuff and it's about doing shit at an elite major league quality level over anything else, dude. That's what I learned. That was the biggest lesson. You guys can take this, learn from it. It's quality over quantity the higher you get, okay? Ask yourself this, man. This is a really good challenge for you and to see where you stand in your current situation. If you disappeared tomorrow, would your team miss you? Would they feel that impact of not having you in the lineup if you weren't in there? If not, work until the answer is yes. There is no other answer. Right? Here are some takeaways from my grind that you guys are going to be able to take and implement immediately into yours in order to benefit yourselves. Okay? Actionable takeaways. 3 of them. Here we are. These are the 3 rules that took me from a 9-hole hitter to a Major League Baseball player. Number 1, control what you can control. Develop the skills. No one gives a shit about hype, dude. Hype will not get you to the top. Developing a major league quality or caliber skill is going to bring opportunity every single time. Control what you can control. Everything else is just outside noise. Number 2, outlast everyone. Outlast everybody. Consistency beats talent when talent isn't consistent. That's kind of a tongue twister, okay? But it's the truth. Keep your head down and keep grinding. What else is there, right? There is nothing else. Number 3, be undeniable. Production over potential. We talked about that potential word, dude. It just means you haven't done anything yet. Produce. Quality. Quantity. Blend them together. Put forth a beautiful product. Those are the 3 rules that took me from the 9-hole to Major League Baseball. Control what you can control. Outlast everybody. Be undeniable. You might not be the biggest. You might not be the most talented, but you can outwork, you can outlast, and you can outplay anyone who takes this game for granted. Your story isn't over yet. It's just getting started. Let me hear it down below, fellas. What's your biggest challenge right now? What are you grinding through? How are you going to end the season and push through this on a strong note? Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to get all the latest content that we are putting out. We are going to have some bangers moving forward. Lastly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the 9 hole newsletter. The link is in description. If you want weekly mindset and weekly player development fire, this is where you are going to get it. It is free 99, and we have some of the best baseball players in college baseball, high school baseball, nationally ranked programs, their coaches, scouts, D1 coaches. Man, they're all in there. Parents, players, coaches, check it out. Links in the description. Appreciate you guys being here. Keep grinding.